What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to this post-match show here on Anfield Agenda. Oh my God, what a result for the Reds. 7-1 at Old Trafford. Nat Phillips with a hat-trick and a bicycle kick from the edge of the box. Oh my days, it was absolute bedlam. And they were giving out bags of cheese and onion crisps to everybody outside the stadium. Madness. Imagine tuning in thinking that was actually after happening. You're going, what the hell's going on here? They're not clowns, T1. See, I understand people being frustrated that the game's being postponed, but what I will say is that sometimes in life, there are sacrifices for a greater good. Now, I'm not saying that every act that was followed during this protest was correct, and things could have been done a little differently, of course. My main concern is, one, that the police, the staff, the fans, the presenters, the people working for Sky, the matchday stewards, the people working in the shops, the people, I want all them to get home to their families safe. That's priority number one. And then the United fans need to make a protest to have their voices heard. They've tried everything. The Glazers aren't listening to them. So today they decided that they need to protest. And I stand with them in that protest. I stand with them against the greed and the corruption that's within our sport and some of the ownership groups that are in the Premier League. We need to have the balance redressed. So I stand with them on that. And I absolutely back their right to protest, 100%. I don't want anybody hurt. That's my only... the game postponed. It'll be another game of football. We'll have it another day. Shit happens. But I want people to be safe. That's the most important thing for me here, is that protesters, police officers, stewards, everybody gets home to their family safe. And we come back another day and we sort all this out. And we use the moment to highlight what we're unhappy with in the sport right now, which is owners that are taking money away from the clubs, owners that are trying to send us off into closed super leagues where there's no promotion and relegation. And United are at probably the forefront of that because they probably have the worst owners. Now, our owners aren't the best by any imagination, but they don't have crippling interest repayments. We don't, like United fans do. They don't have money being paid to shareholders. They don't have money being siphoned out of the club. They feel like they're not listened to. At least we feel like our owners somewhat listen to us, even though they go against it and do what they want anyway. But so I stand with the United fans in their protest, and I stand with all football fans that don't want the Super League, that want to have their voices heard, that want to have the game restructured, that want to have a better financial foothold throughout all the levels and more sustainable football in future. So I stand with every football fan that wants that, and I always will. But what I won't stand with is anybody who's out there to cause criminal damage, to assault people, to intimidate people. That shit doesn't wash, and that shit has no place in our sport, and anybody worth their salt will say that. But we have to stand together on this one. We have to. We have to make a stand for our sport, and we have to let these greedy owners from all of our clubs, whether it be the Cronkies, whether it be the Glazers, whether it be FSG, we have to let them know that we need to change the sport. We need fan representation, and we need to be heard at a higher level, because without fans, and we're not fucking legacy fans, we are fans, there would be no sport. So, but yes, the game has been postponed, 100%. Well, we're using you're saying reschedule's a better word. We're using the phrase that's been used, buddy, which is postponed. So, again, I take from that what you will. It's not. It's those that are saying 7:30 or 8. It isn't. It's postponed. No game today. No game has taken place today. We don't know yet when it's being postponed till, ladies and gentlemen. It is annoying. And again, those that cause criminal damage and those that assaulted people need to be dealt with and need to have the full force of the law aimed at them. But those fans that went there to protest against the way their club, and it is their fucking club, and same as Liverpool's our club and Manchester City's fans and Chelsea, whatever, they have a right to be heard. And whatever we think about it, the images on the pitch are far more powerful. The images of fans on the pitch are far more powerful and will be sent around the world to fans outside the stadium. So I don't agree with some of the things that happened today, but at the end of the day, there's a bigger picture at stake here, and it's important that we remember that there is a bigger picture at stake. Fair play, Craig, for supporting us United fans today. My apologies for that idiot earlier. You're doing a great job here. Football is about respect, not hate. Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to say all day, mate. I'm pissed off that we don't have a game today. Of course I am. I wanted to be here talking about Liverpool, Manchester United today. I wanted to be here having banter and hopefully we had a good game. But at the end of the day, this day a couple of weeks ago, we didn't know whether we were going to have teams anymore. We didn't know whether our teams are going to be kicked out of the Premier League. We didn't know because our greedy owners wanted to just run off into some closed off Super League. So it's going to take more stuff like this. It's going to take more fans speaking up, coming together, backing each other for the greater good. So it's not a time to have club rivalries right now and allegiances. We are all football fans that are fighting for our sport and are fighting for our game to have a bit of balance redressed and representation and us to be listened to as fans. So, I mean, I'm disappointed, the same as everyone we done with a game today. Of course I am. But at the end of the day, safety is paramount, and I don't want any of those fans or the police officers, the staff, the Sky crew, the people that are just stewarding the game. I don't want any of them to be injured. They have families. They need to get home safe. This is a game of football at the end of the day, and that'll be replayed. We'll get that sorted out. But messages need to be delivered, statements need to be made, and you can all rest assured now, Lone, that you can watch Line of Duty tonight and it'll all be good. You won't have to worry about anything else. Well, nobody said it's cancelled. It's postponed, which means it ain't taking place today. So delayed would be it's taking place later on today. Postponed means probably rescheduled for another date. Don't be talking like... Anyone who's talking points deductions is missing the big picture. Like, let's not start clutching at straws here. At the end of the day, we need to get the greed out of our sport and we need to stand as fans together. So, you know, whatever frustration you have, let's not be looking at the points deduction route. That's just silliness. Let's be standing together as football fans now and trying to get our voices heard, trying to get fan representation on boards, trying to force, let's just say in the UK, governments to listen to the concerns that football fans have, and rightly have, because they feel like the money that they're putting into the game has been siphoned away by greedy owners who are trying to block them off into closed off leagues that have no relegation, no promotion, just to make more money for themselves. And it's not what our sport's about. So we need to stand together on this. I'm going to continue to say that. Postponed for another day, Leandro. Definitely not taking place today. I've no problem with the fans that were on the pitch doing no damage. I genuinely don't. I know people are going to say they broke barriers and all that. I understand why they wanted to get onto the pitch. I genuinely understand it, because those images are far more powerful. But what I will not condone, and I can't stand over, is anybody who caused criminal damage, anybody who assaulted somebody. The most important thing, as I've said over and over again, is that all those fans get home safe to their loved ones, and the staff and the police and the people in and around the game. Everybody needs to get home safe. That's priority number one. The football game can be rescheduled. We can carry on with the movement of trying to get fans' voices heard, and I absolutely stand with those United fans that want the balance redressed at their club, because we've been here before ourselves. So the only part of this that I'm not happy with is, of course, the criminal damage and anybody who was injured or anybody who was assaulted. There's no space for that. Everybody deserves to go home safe. Everybody deserves to protest and have their voices heard. Was there trouble with the There was a bit, mate, yes, Liam. I mean, I can't say it was all flowers and skittles. It wasn't. There was some images of people who'd been injured. There was some throwing of certain things. There was some equipment that was broken from production companies and stuff. Yes, those images are out there, and none of us condone that in any way, shape or form. The stewards let the fans in. Shout out to the stewards. I look at it a different way, in that it could have gotten ugly if they didn't. So the safest thing to do was to allow them in, because, well, we know what could happen and we don't want to see anybody injured. So they took the safe route, which they are to be applauded for, because they prevented something even more damaging from potentially happening. So yes, they did the right thing in my eyes.